I'm going to turn it over to Maureen first because we're going to talk about the dangers of these dating apps and the regulation that is coming about, especially in California, around these. Maureen, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I came across this today. It's called Justice for Cal Matters. And they're getting alarmed by the dating app violence that's going on. And a California lawmaker is what he proposes a Scarlet Letter. So we're going to talk about what that means. But it's a bill to protect people on online dating apps from violence, and there are some critics that are arguing the measure would put a scarlet letter on certain users. And we'll discuss. Yeah, exactly, Lori. So it should. And uh, there's the Senate's Public Safety Committee this week passed a bill that would require
I'm going to put
online
this up.
dating services. Yeah, that would help me. And if I can the Senate's Public Safety Committee has this week passed a bill that would require online dating services to run criminal background checks on California users. If the user is a registered sex offender or has been convicted of a violent felony, domestic violence, an assault, or a hate crime, the dating service must place a flag on the user's profile to let others know. The bill author, Senator Carolyn Minerve, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but Caroline said that dating apps have not provided an adequate leave of safety for their users. At the hearing, she cited a 2019 Columbia Journalism Investigation survey that found that more than a third of women polled said they were this is scary, sexually assaulted or raped by someone they met on a dating app. The markup, which is part of Cal Matters, last year published an investigation that showed people accused of sexual violence managed to stay on the apps even after victims reported them. The Van Nuys Democrat, a quote from her, said if women, mostly women, continue to be raped or murdered, like another woman who was murdered and her body was set on fire last year after a man met her on a dating app, those are the incidents we are looking at to prevent. But besides labeling users with a scarlet letter, implementing the policy would require dating platforms to collect a significant amount of personal data to avoid misidentifying users, argued Jose Torres, a deputy executive director for the industry group TechNet. In a rare break with his Democratic colleagues, and I don't understand you, Senator Scott Wiener of San Francisco voted against the bill, saying it might have significant unintended consequences in terms of people's privacy. I don't think these people deserve privacy.
No.
They're abusing women and raping them. But Wiener's opposition, along with Republican Senator Kelly Salvato, of Marietta, was not enough to stop the bill from advancing out of the six-member committee, according to CalMatters Digital Democracy Database. With 4 Democratic lawmakers giving the green light, Ms. has said she plans to amend the measure in response to criticism related to the categories of crime and operational challenges, and that legislatures are going to see a dramatically different bill when it's presented to the Privacy Committee on April the 20th. Now, I don't know exactly what all that means. Yeah, but I think it's a good idea. And, they've been out there for so long. And these are, when you go on a dating app, you're initially feeling lonely. So you're already vulnerable. And we know that there's so much false stuff out there. They're not even the person they identify themselves as being, even the way they look or what they do. And I think it's great for this bill to go forward. and protect people that have been abused already and prevent it from happening in the future.
Yeah, and before we talk about the bill, I just want to put up some high profile cases where women have been killed on these dating apps. Grace Mullane, she met a man on Tinder while traveling in New Zealand, killed on their first date. In 2018, case became a global warning about dating app risk. So it was a normal interaction with an extreme outcome. Shows how quickly trust is established right through these apps. Another one is Ingrid Lynn. So, yeah, they have a few of these pictures in this story. So she met the suspect on a dating app in 2016. He murdered and dismembered her, and the suspect had prior violent history. That's where they found her. Because background checks are not built in to these platforms at all. And then there was Lauren Smith Fields. Here's a couple different pictures of Lauren. And she met a man on Bumble in 2021 and was found dead after the date. Family raised concerns about how authorities handled the case. It was not just the incident, it was how systems respond after the fact. And then, of course, you find the suspects who have all these different apps. So Michael LaFountain was arrested, and they found that this is an example of multiple assault allegations tied to dating app meetups, and it's a pattern of behavior across these victims and across these perpetrators. Repeat offenders are using these apps as hunting grounds. So to me, it's like, they looked at the broader trends. It's like dating apps like Tinder and Bumble have millions of users. So scale equals exposure. And so reports of sexual assault, fraud, coercion, there's a lot of things going on. Uh, Linked to these app meetups have increased over time. So many platforms don't require identity verification and don't share offender data across apps, and they're using multiple apps. So the system is built for connection speed, not safety verification.
Well, it's about money.
Well, it's
And
always
I
about
I've
money.
been on the dating apps. It's been years. It's been about 15 years ago. I tried it for a couple of months here and there. Oh no. It was a nightmare, and there was some danger. There was some strange links, and I only went on probably about 4 dates. But one of them was homeless. I picked him up at the homeless shelter. He said he gave me his address. I shouldn't have picked him up. That's the first thing, and that's okay that he was homeless. He wasn't a bad guy, but what you gonna do? And the
Yeah.
other one had a whole fingers full of long nails, and he just was very eccentric. And I just was like, "This is not what you told me." And why are your nails? He was like, "Our whole family grow our nails long." I was like, "Okay."
And that's why, Nitra, women prefer and choose the bear
Yes.
Yes.
every time.
Every time.
Every time. I am happy to be a single woman. I have my dogs, I have a group of friends. I am okay.
Like they said, choose
Yeah.
the bear. Yeah, I don't. After that, I said, "Oh no!" And people mentioned, it, I'm like, "Ain't no way." And then I talked to two catfishes. They were trying to get money from me. Said they was in Heathrow Airport freezing to death. I said, "That's a pretty nice airport."
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. I actually met my husband through, this is gonna date me, but AOL, where before they had Match and Yahoo had their love thing, and I met him at Love at AOL.
Wow.
He turned out to be real and stuff, except for the fact that, and he still denies this today. It says in his profile he's from California. And it turns out he's like, I lived there briefly, and he still denies it, but I've been on other dating apps where I've been, oh, send me money, can you help me? Can you do all this other stuff?
I'm a
You know,
widow.
yeah, I worry about my daughters, especially because, thank God they're not on them. but I still worry that they go to them. Like Bumble gives a false sense of security for women because it was founded by women. And
Mhm.
I met
It's
more
got a
scam
cute
guys
name.
there than, even Tinder, which is sad. It's like trying to find someone on a dating app. No, no, I won't
It's
do it.
not dating apps. A lot of them are sex apps. Let's just
Yeah,
call it what it is. Because that's all I was getting. I was like, you are not understanding what I'm here for.
yep.
Well,
But I'm glad I have seen some people that have sad success, but I think those are the exceptions, not the rule.
Yeah, I have a niece who had great success,
Mhm.
truly. Her and her husband are he's a wonderful guy, but I think that's rare,
I
truly.
I
actually
tried the
don't think
fancy
it's
one.
that
I even
rare.
upgraded myself to the fancy one, and it was the oh man.
I
well, there's
don't think it's
dating
that rare.
apps and then there's hookup apps.
Well,
And they're I mean, the hookup apps can still end up with people being married. I know people who met on Tinder, which is known more for being a hookup app, and they were married. I know people who went on Yahoo Personals back in the day and are married. I know people from across different apps. I think
yeah,
to Kim's point, scale means that the opportunity is greater for there to be people on who are going to do the wrong thing. We're
mhm,
And
just
Angry Army brings up a point. Can we pull that back? I think this is a good point. Um, when she did get on dating apps, I only used the paid apps,
Yeah.
right? That I think that's one of the keys
Yeah,
as well.
plenty of
Yeah.
fish. Oh, people who use that, as soon as you hear that on like a court
Yeah.
show, you be like, oh, never mind. I know
Never
why.
mind. Yep.
They'd be like, I met him on Plenty of Fish. Case closed.
Well, there are
Yeah.
a lot
Well,
of stories about women losing a ton of money.
yeah,
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 and even men, same thing.
yeah,
Women will take
yeah,
advantage on
yeah,
there too.
it's because they're lonely and they want to find someone to have a connection with. And a
yeah,
lot of these people are really good at scamming. And now
Yes.
with AI, it's going to even be better because they don't even have to use their voice anymore. Like I used to watch Dr. Phil. Now he's a POS for me, but um, he had catfish stories where, they're losing millions of dollars. And I knew exactly, like, as soon as they saw the very first message, I'm like, yeah, you're getting catfish.
Well, my question on the regulation is when you sign up for a pet sitting app, they run a background check. So you have to get a background check to walk somebody's
Mhm.
dog,
Yep.
but you don't have to have a background check to be on a dating app. I I don't know. What do y'all think of the regulation?
I think
I
it's
think
great.
it definitely should be regulated for sure.
I think California is always regulating everything. And if you want to know what's going on, go to the regulators. Anyway, but in the rest of this country, they like take your chances because California, they're not going to save me in Indiana. We checking TVs out the windows like it's 1983. There's not a toll. There's, you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes at the casino, like through they trach. I'm just saying, there's no kind of. We just live in La Vida Loca out here.
Vida loca.
I think going back to Kim's question, I think that the legislation is good. But I think there's also a bigger issue, and the question is, are men okay? And yes, there are women who scam people on dating apps, but honestly, if we're being truthful, men are scary for women. And there are some scary men out there. And you can be married to someone you met in in a bar, in a restaurant, at church, and that man turn out to be someone who is a danger to you. Just ask the
Yeah.
woman who was killed by her husband, Justin Fairfax.
Yeah.
Serene, I believe was her name.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
I think for here, what they're trying to prevent are the predators who are out there solely for the purpose of using these apps as a hunting grounds,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure there. I
Serial
know there are.
killers that are out there. Um,
They
They're
already
and
probably
know
that
even
everything. Palantir, all these places. I don't even. I hate to say it. Somebody contacted her while she was playing video games. A grown person took. She snuck out to be with him in Fishers, Indiana. He took her to Ohio, dismembered her, murdered her, whatever. It's all happened in the last couple months, and they're starting a new. I seen billboards up to say. I think Mariah. Basically, because she left with him on her own, I think they delayed trying to find her, even though she was a minor.
Mm.
So they're
Yeah.
trying to get it to where they act faster because I guess she didn't qualify for Amber. And so they delayed it and she ended up getting killed in the interim. I'm not saying it was their fault, but it delayed the investigation. So they're
No.
starting to.
Yeah. No, but there is a certain amount of personal responsibility as well. You have to be careful
Mhm.
with who you're meeting and where you're meeting. And I mean, even on the online dating, they used to say, go for coffee first,
Yeah.
you
Public
know,
places.
in a big
So many of them wanted me
community
to meet them
area,
at their
very
house. I was like,
public area. It's like who in the right mind would do that? You don't know this person. You
No.
don't go to somebody's house. You don't let them come to yours. So anyway, this is a great topic. We'll keep an eye on that legislation, on the regulations, kind of see where that goes. But thank you, Maureen. That's a great topic for discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
yes, thank you.
All
Awesome.
right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. It was 100% anyway on our little poll, that if these should be regulated or not.